Hello everyone, welcome back to my next instalment of stories that bring remedies to life. It's such a lovely day today that I thought I'd try filming outside, so excuse the sound of birds and bees, which is lovely. Today's story is Sepia, on the remedy Sepia, and is called Sepia, a Worn Out Mum. Sophia looked in the mirror. Who was that woman staring back? The sagging skin, the yellowish brown tinge sitting across her nose and cheeks like a saddle. The heavy expression, no spark, no joy. Tears slowly ran down the contours of her face. Why was she crying? She didn't even know. But not a day seemed to go by when she didn't. She used the sleeve of her jumper to wipe away the tears and took some deep breaths to stop the flow. Sophia knew that if she carried on crying, then she would feel much worse, and today she was almost at breaking point. As she brushed her hair, she reflected on what brought her to feel this way. Was it the demands of having 3 children in rapid succession? Or could it be her husband, whose touch she couldn't stand? Some days she wanted nothing more than to run away. Bit by bit she could feel herself shutting down. Surely a mother should have a natural maternal instinct for her children. But then why did she constantly snap at them? Her shrieking voice echoed in her head, and the guilt bubbled up inside her. She couldn't help thinking that they deserved a better mother. At times like this, solitude was her friend. With her husband at work and the children at school, she could breathe. She had space to gather her energy before the evening onslaught of cooking, feeding, bedtime routines. The list was endless. A wave of nausea hit her, bringing back memories of pregnancy morning sickness, when the thought and the smell of food made everything worse. She even remembered her cliché craving for pickles. She still enjoyed eating them now. It was almost midday, and she hadn't even eaten breakfast yet. The left side of her head began to throb. She really needed to eat something, but sometimes no amount of food could fill that emptiness inside. Sophia stood up and winced as a dull ache spread across her lower back. Since her last daughter was born 5 years ago, everything seemed to go south. Her insides felt so heavy, as if they were dragging down, almost as if they were going to fall out. Sometimes she felt like she had to cross her legs just in case. Maybe she'd contact that homeopath she'd seen after the birth of her first child. It really helped. In the kitchen, she turned on the radio, and the rhythmic beats of a disco record filled the air. What a great track! She swayed to the pulsating sounds, and a lightness began to spread through her. She moved to the beat as she went around the kitchen clearing up the children's breakfast mess. She looked at her phone and she wondered, could she make the dance aerobics class at the gym? There was just enough time if she hurried. Hastily, she whizzed up a smoothie and began to sip it as she left the house. The warm rays of the sun bathed her face. Maybe today wasn't going to be such a bad day after all. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments. And I hope you've learned something about Sepia, the remedy, from that story. It shows many of the themes and symptoms of Sepia, such as having had to put everyone else's needs ahead of their own. Domesticity has taken over, the day-to-day grind of looking after a family, and with it, the sadness and the heaviness of spirit and the heaviness of body after several or even one pregnancy. They're very much energized by dance and activity and feel much better for moving around. And they have like cliche cravings that you often hear about, of pickles. So there's lots more symptoms and themes within the story. Let me know if you can find any of them, and watch this space for the next one. Thank you.